In God we trust, right? Most Americans are familiar with that term printed on every Federal Reserve note, but few realize what it actually means. See, creation itself is a trust. God granted man dominion over his creation, yet he retained ownership of it. In Leviticus chapter 25, verse 23, we read, "The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine, for ye are strangers and sojourners with me," granting man the right of use while retaining ownership. This is the very origin of the concept of a trust and the foundation of all law. A free man or woman subject only to God can only be bound by his trust regulations, which we recognize as the common law. The common law is not made by man. Instead, through the faculty of reason with the aid of divine revelation, it is observed, studied, and implemented by man into a just society. That was the intention of the Founding Fathers, who created a form of government which had not yet been established in recorded history. The people became the grantors of the trust known as state government. In doing so, they remained above the government and subject only to God and the common law. The state government trusts then came together and created a feudal or federal trust, known as federal government, which was intended to have very little direct contact with the people, if any. See, the Creator can never be subject to his creatures, and that maxim applies in kind to the creatures of the minds of men. The people, as creators and grantors of the government trust, could never be subject to their creature called government. That is why, under our common law system, only one of the people could levy a criminal claim against you, where there must be a tort or harm involved, and only juries, comprised of the people, could decide your guilt. The magistrate was merely advisory, so a private guild of merchant attorneys known as the Bar Association devised a plan to alter our original form of government with an amendment that would be a Trojan horse. I'm talking about the 14th Amendment, which on its face claims to grant civil rights to the newly freedmen after the Civil War. But therein lies the trick. The government could never grant rights, only privileges arising out of participation in the federal trust, the one the people were formerly above. This amendment created a new class of citizen called the U.S. citizen, which is in fact a creature of the federal trust, and subject to it as the creator and administrator of that creature. Basically, if you are a U.S. citizen, the federal government is your God. The fourth section of the amendment forbids you from questioning the public debt, so the federal trust can collateralize you as an asset, which is exactly what they did in 1933, when they used their administrative authority over the U.S. citizens to mortgage their property rights as security for the issuance of debt contracts as currency. Now, everything you buy with these debt notes comes with a lien baked in, and your entire existence is now considered a privilege granted by the government trust. In God we trust means whomsoever controls the trust you are under is your God. Are you under God's trust or Caesar's? Search Burn the Corporate Fiction on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, and X.